Hey everybody, Slay here. I just picked up this Su-9 earlier today. I'm going to show you guys my first and second games in this plane. Nothing extravagant, just to kind of go over the plane, talk about its stock, talk about it fully upgraded. This first game here is obviously stock. As stock, it has basic 23s with a fast firing 37 on it. The fast firing 37 is actually not too bad, to be honest with you. It's very fast firing. That's about the most I can say about it. It chucks off about 20% of a plane's HP, so it's not bad at all. Definitely not as derpy as the 45 is, that's for sure. The 45 is just an absolute killer. Anyways, I've heard nothing spectacular about this plane. This plane is obviously in the Russian multi-role line. It is on its way to the 211 and 215. So if you want to one day work your way up to the 215, you're going to have to go through this plane. I was expecting the worst with this plane, as I am with most planes that I go to play, and pleasantly surprised. This plane's not bad. It's not a turner by any means. I think you have like a 12-second turn. So if you don't ever put yourself in that position where you're going to have to turn on anybody, you should be fine. With that said, it's not fast either. So you have to kill your target before they get around you, and that can be challenging. With especially once you get the 45 and the other 23s, it can be very challenging to aim that, but definitely doable. Anyways, with that said, playing this map, just took the command center. Obviously going for the airfield now. I could have played this either two ways. I could have gone straight for the airfield. But I like to always go in there and make sure that the command center gets taken. Just because there's so many times where our bots will spend 90% of the game just sitting there at the command center, not taking it, which is bad. So just like any other slow turning plane, you don't ever want to have to really turn on things. You know, this thing can play like a heavy, that's why I'm taking it out to the bomber flight right now. Just to go, you know, basically it's my first game in this plane. First, you know, not even 2 minutes in it. I just want to see what it can do. It actually does work on the bomber flights, that's for sure. Doesn't kill them in one pass. It's not a 262, that's for sure. But it's not bad by any means. And I didn't see anybody else coming this way, so that's why I went over here. For being a fast firing 37, it doesn't overheat that bad. You know, yes, it overheats, but it's nothing amazing. You know, so definitely not bad at all. See a multi-roll off in the distance there. Can't remember if he comes in here or not. Looks like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go help get that cap.
The threat to the complex eliminated. Way to go!
So this plane excels at head-ons and killing planes that are slow-moving, like that. An A6M2 in a climb is just gonna get killed. It's, you know, the way it's gonna happen. Catching these planes when they're at their worst peak here in altitude, and you just kind of abuse them. Killed 3 planes in less than a minute there, so not too bad, not too bad. But if you'll watch, I line up on this J4M and the 37s start hitting them. Man, when they hit, they really hit. I don't know if you saw that there, but that was like 20% of his HP in just a couple shots. And that was enough to flip that cap. So, remember what I said about head-ons? Don't do it with this plane. This is stock and, you know, just kind of abusing people. So since I'm over here and they are intercepting my path, I don't want to say that I'm intercepting the bombers here. They're intercepting me, right? I'm trying to cross, and there's these bombers just coming in my way. Not my fault, really. But anyways, if you're good at something, you know, why stop doing it? This is obviously a decent plane for taking out bombers, so anything with big guns can wipe out the bombers pretty fast. I am on super low HP though, and that does suck. I was actually worried that I wasn't going to be able to keep up with the bombers just because how slow you are. And if you'll look, I'm pretty much gunning it I'm not using my boost, but yeah, I'm not slowing down by any means. Climbing up to this RB. Pretty sure I'm gonna get tailed down here. Or stall. That's another thing where this plane seriously lacks, is its altitude, its speed. It just doesn't have the speed to get up there. That wasn't even red line altitude cap, but it just doesn't have the speed to get there. Whereas if I didn't mention it before, I'm flying with a Sergeant Slaughter in his Spit 14. If anybody's ever faced him, then you know Sergeant Slaughter in a Spit 14 is an absolute ridiculous beast. So we've killed bombers, we've killed multi-rolls, we've killed fighters. Let's take it down and kill this JA. Not quite on a pass, and I almost hit the mountain there. That would have been horrible. One thing I will say about this plane too though, is the color scheme on the paint job actually looks really good. Not too bad. Kind of looks like a 262, but just a Russian version, right? Not a bad plane by any means. So right now we're just kind of in sustain mode, right? They have a command center, we have 3 caps. All we have to do now is just make sure that these bombers don't get our southern command center, and that's game, right? Squall's here pretty soon. I'm at next to nothing for HP.
Way to go. Victory is close.
See, and that's what I was afraid of right there. I don't know if you saw that, but those bombers, I wasn't able to keep up with them in the climb. So, and I'm stalling again, just turning. So this plane doesn't have the airspeed, not by any means. And I had the best engines unlocked at this point. But it's not a bad plane. It's not a TA, let's just say that. Ooh, ghost shell there, that was cool. It's not a TA at all. You know, in a TA, you're gonna have the altitude, you're gonna have the airspeed, and you got 330s of Doom. You know, but I think it's just not as bad of a grind as it is going, you know, as I thought it was going to be going to the 211. So this one's pretty much over. I've not done a lot here. Just kind of killed bombers and whatnot. Kind of, you know, picked off things that were low HP. Pulled a pretty decent score. But it's definitely worth showing you guys another game. You know, especially when I'm fully upgraded. The next game that I'm going to show you is my first game. It's my second game, but it's my first game using the 45. So you get to watch me learn again. And that game's over right there. So not a bad result here. You know, picked up Marcel, McCampbell, Tip of the Spear, Lords of the Sky, flying badge, you know what I mean? So yeah, 11,500 score, showed just under 1,200 or 12k in the game, so not too bad by any means. The plane is, you know, again, that was fully stocked, my first game in it. Very easy plane to use. If you're used to slow flying planes and used to, you know, the crappy turn, it's not a hard plane at all. And I feel like once you get to 45, it kind of betters you in preparation for the slow firing guns that are coming. The 37s at tier 9, I don't know if they're fast firing 37s or slow firing. If anybody here has the I-211, if you wouldn't mind leaving a comment, let me know. How are the 37s on the I-211? Is that going to be a good plane to play? But I just did just shy of 10k damage there, so not bad for a stock, you know, stock plane SU-9. Picked up a bunch of ribbons and awards, whatnot. Sergeant Slaughter picked it up in the Spit 14, got number 1, of course. Had 18 kills there, 2 shy of ace, so that's pretty cool. So I go ahead and decide, you know what, I'm just going to buy everything. I had a bunch of free experiences, you can see already converted, so yeah, time to beef this bad boy up. I'm loading the bombs on it because, as one of my HR friends said, you're not going to outrun anything, so there's nothing, you know, if you don't have the bombs, it's not like it's going to add enough airspeed to where you can't, you know, play this plane. So toss the bombs on. They're 250 kilogram bombs, which is not bad by any means. But ultimately, obviously, the 45 and the top tier 23s are the best things you can get on this plane. So run through, make sure I have universal, and we'll get right into the next one. So one thing I do like in my planes is consistency, right? So I like a plane, let's just use the RB for example. I like my RB because one, the RB is a carry plane. I like carrying, but two, I'm very consistent in the RB. Most games is 12 to 16K games in my RB. I don't really have bad games in it, and I do appreciate that about the plane. But it's not just the RB that I had those games in. Same in my 10M, a couple of my tier 10s. You know, there's just certain planes you're going to always do good at. And I feel like this plane can be consistently average or above average. The 45 just hit that A6M2. It didn't quite one-shot him there, but yeah, that pretty much wiped out his HP, which is awesome. But I'm definitely learning to fire the 45 here. If I had the 45 down, I feel like I could easily pull Wing Legend most of the games I'm playing this thing. As long as I'm not flying with Sergeant Slaughter and he's stealing everything, because Sergeant Slaughter. Nah, Sergeant Slaughter is a good guy. He's just really good at this game. You know, especially when you're flying with somebody or someone's on your team and you feel like they're stealing, quote unquote, stealing your kills, calm the freak down. There's no such thing as stealing a kill in this game at all. You know, and to all the people who don't like people who fly in flights, again, I said it in the forums, I'll say it everywhere. I'm you know, using my voice as a communication. Flighting in this game is not an exploit. There is a built-in tool to fly, you know, match up a flight in this game, and there's no such thing as being carried. Like, yes, you can be carried by someone. You could have a bad game and they could have a good game, but unless you're having a one-off flight with somebody, you're not going to, you know, have that all the time. Unless you're just, you know, consistently bad, which none of us that play in my clan, none of us are bad enough to where we feel like we're carrying anybody. There's been games when we've all had a bad game and we have good games, you know? It's not like we actually go into like a training room and practice and hone our skills or anything like that. No, we just a bunch of above average people in HR that are flying, and we just choose to fly together. There are certain people who prefer exclusively to fly, you know, not in flight. Again, that's your choice. That's, you know, you have that choice as a player. That's the cool thing about this game is you can do that, but just don't be one of the first people who take to Reddit or the forums and complain about people flying up. It's a built-in feature of the game. Nobody's exploiting, so I'm going to end the rant there. Yeah, it's just not worth any more of my breath. But with that said, horrible aim with this 45 so far. It's definitely a lot harder than I thought it was going to be trying to aim this gun. The TA-152 is fairly easy to aim. Once you get it down and you just start really smacking things with those 30s, it is devastating. Much like that RB's bomb load right there. I don't know if you saw what he did in the middle, but holy crap, he just wiped out our middle like it was going out of style. So I do get a hit with my 45 right there on the pass, which is good because it left him with no HP. Otherwise I would have just been pretty much tail gun down, which is never any fun, right? So shout out to Pirat 262. You're playing that RB exactly how I play it. It is all about the low flying games that RB. Play it like a GA until they do something about the RB or bombers in general and make it so, you know, they don't perform as well in low altitude, you might as well just play it. It's not bad. So don't even try and turn back on that IL-10, but I set them on, or IL-8, sorry, I set them on fire. So that's pretty cool. And here I am trying to aim this 45. Yuck. And right there, I don't know if you just saw that, but I pulled my shot inwards, and he pulled out, and the 45 was so inaccurate that the shot actually hit him. What can you do? It's a fairly decent game so far. Again, I am just a horrible aim with this 45, but not much you can do there. I don't know if I'd exactly call this plane a carry plane. It could easily be dealt with by turn fighters or boom and zoomers, such as the 262 would have a field day with this plane. The Spit 14 would have a field day with this plane. Most planes would have field days with this plane, so. But versus slow turning multi-rolls like this A8 and things that are, you know, starting to stall out like this A7M over here, this is where this plane excels. And man, when that 45 hits, it hits. Trying to catch up to this A8 now. He's hauling ass out there. Trying to get a lucky shot with my 45. Man, yeah. That 45. It's amazing how you could, you know, not be hitting him, and then all of a sudden you do hit him, and next thing you know, he's at next to no HP, and then you get to finish him off with 23s. It's pretty glorious, actually. Now, I don't have the 211 or 215, but again, from what I've seen of these two planes, I feel like I'm in a good position to recommend the line. I've seen the 211 just work freaking wonders in the game, and honestly, there's no line in this game that is just not worth going down. Especially if you liked the earlier versions of this line, then you're gonna like the, you know, those planes for sure. Just trying to pick up the last 2 kills here right before the game ends. One more tick. Am I gonna get it? And I do. Not bad, not bad again. So again, another pretty much 12K game. Another McCampbell medal, Flying Guardian, all the flight medals. Picked up a Lambert medal there as well for my capture points. So a very solid plane and very consistent. And that's what I really want you guys to get out of this video is this plane is not a bad plane, and it's pretty consistent in what it can do. Again, 2 vastly different play styles right there. One played stock, one played fully upgraded. Both did the same thing, right? I feel like I can do a lot better once I learn this 45 and start getting it to hit more. But much like the TA 152, you just need to kind of warm up to it. So it's going to take several games per day to get pretty good at this plane. But I'll get there one day. But anyways, definitely a pleasant trip up to the 211. Looking forward to getting that plane. But anyways, guys, if you guys have any questions, just leave a comment. And thanks for watching. Again, that was the Su-9 Tier 8 Russian multi-roll. Take care. Good night.